entertained. Is this not why you are here?
Hurry up and program it in.
All right, shalom again. Kohalayim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash. That's the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I want to say double honors to my apostles and elders and bishops of the great millstone who rule well over the flock. And shalom and salutation to you, all you Akim out here that's pushing the words of truth and sincerity. You know who you are. Shalom. All right, Hebrew Israelites, coming back again to teach and inspire and edify and exhort, the children of Israel to continue to fare and continue to serve the Lord with all their best ability. This is Psalms 9 and 5, just going into how this Greek discussion dealing with different customs and mannerisms that we've learned from being amongst the nations here in America, Mystery Babylon, but also in antiquity. You go through history, you realize we've been practicing the heathens of the customs for years, right? Christmas and whatnot. And our people really embrace these customs. It's not as if we just came, like they really had to force feed Hellenistic Greek customs to us. We kind of really started to adapt and embrace these customs. It was like, the gym and all of this, a lot of customs we still kind of adapt today, whether it be going too crazy in the gym, trying to get every pectoral muscle flexed out with your shirt off, right? Walking around the beach, that gymnos, which means is a Greek word, means naked, that spirit, or it's being too into science and all of this scientific research where you can split stem cells and do everything that Esau and Moab really love to do, which is genetically modify organisms and create new species. That's something that Jake is starting to take a liking to, even with this biotech movement. We understand that this newer order is moving towards a time where everybody has to be marked in their flesh or in their forehead. And they're saying that it's going to enhance your thoughts. It's going to enhance your productivity. You're going to need something to basically level you off against the rising tide of AI, artificial intelligence, and that's taking away your job. So you're going to need to, be basically programmed in the mind to compete with these robots out here in the future. And so that's how they're pushing that into Jake's wave. And you can see, I heard 19 Keys. I don't know if a lot of people know who he is. He went ahead and interviewed this one guy, and I'm watching. They talking about technology the whole time, crypto and everything like that, in the space of how blockchain is working and how that's going to basically allow us to really become a legacy. I mean, they talk the good talk, and by maybe an hour and 15 to an hour and a half into the video, they're talking about we want to we also want to integrate into implantable devices in the near future. And I said, oh, there you go. There you go. Anytime you got a Jake that's talking about too much about technology, too much about what you got, crypto space or the blockchain space, future tech space, he gonna implore you to become an implantable device yourself, all right? Become somewhat of a cyborg. So we see it in movies. It's always made cool, from Black Panther to, all these Marvel movies. They always make biotech cool, right? Like, it's a great advancement for our people. But when you go into the scriptures, man, one of the main things we have to know as a nation, you can't expect to be taken seriously as a nation and not understand that you have an enemy as a nation. Once you create and mold into a form, which is your people, and especially if you're coming back to the form which is Hebrew Israelite, you're going to understand and learn to acknowledge, especially through the scriptures, which I'm about to get into. I brought this out, a quick edifying video, that we got enemies, man. Let's be serious. So that was just a setup to the video. Now here comes the precepts, right? So this is the water for bear with me too. I love y'all, brothers. Psalms 9 and 5. It says, Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever. So the Most High is rebuking and destroying the heathen and putting out their name forever and ever and ever. Shouldn't we know why? First of all, you're not a heathen if you're an Israelite, right? Because the lineage of the Israelites are the Lord's chosen people. These are the ones who he loved, he brought near to him. But the heathen, the enemy, all right, or the non-Israelite nation, he considers to be the wicked, who he's going to destroy, especially Esau, when you go into the scriptures. Verse 6, O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end, and thou hast destroyed cities. Their memorial is perished with them, but the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. So we have to understand that the Most High is our sanctuary. He is our refuge. A refuge is basically a place where refugees go, right? A condition of being safe or sheltered from pursuit, danger, and trouble. Who's pursuing us? The enemy, the adversary, according to the scriptures. Not according to your Christian church, not according to your baby mother, not according to your next door neighbor. But according to the Bible, we got enemies, and the Lord is coming back to judge them. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, right? And he will minister judgment to the people in uprightness. So we can expect that there's going to be a harsh tribulation for those who are evildoers on this world. And for those who have sought out the Lord and put their trust in him, he's going to be a place of sanctuary and a place of refuge in times of trouble. Verse 10, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. We keep calling upon the name of the Lord because it matters. We do it like it matters because it does matter. You need to know the name of the Lord to confide in him, to pray to him, and to meditate on that name, and to meditate on the fact that the scriptures is telling you they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. So you believing in Jesus Christ, you go ahead, you're going to put yourself trust in Jesus Christ. Anytime you Google a Jesus Christ, is going to pop up a so-called white man. Now, Yahweh Shah, understanding what his name means, he delivers, he saves. It's more in line and more entwined because he was a Hebrew Israelite. So understandably so, his name would have been the Hebrew name. All right. And then we can go back into the interlinear and see and match up that those are true names. When the Father told Moses, I am that I am, he said to say the great I am have sent you. Moses goes back and said he is. Right. He didn't. That wasn't a error on Moses' part. That wasn't a troubling thing. He is. Moses understood exactly what the Father was saying. I am. So you're not going to go, I am. Right. He says he is. Right. But that's very hard for a lot of people to say. But they still acknowledge that the 4 letters of the Tetragrammaton is YHWH, which means Yahweh. Yah. Not Ahaya. Okay, which would be I am. Let's continue. So that was our, yep. And they that know thy name will put trust in thee, and for thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. So the Lord is on our side. He's not on the side of the heathen. He's not on the side, but he's going to avenge the heathen for their blood that they shed. Going back to history, the Lord is not quick to forget the wicked, and it's also written he requires the things that are past. So you, your grandmother, and your uncle, and your senators, and your congressman, and your favorite president can all deny and say that we've gotten over slavery, made great leaps and bounds to get past the hatred and the racism in this country. But until the blood that those that shed the blood are shed, there will be no justice. That's thus saith the Bible. Psalms 33:10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. What are these devices? When you go into it, it means plans, schemes, plots. New World Order is a plot. The depopulation agendas are plots. All right. Planned Parenthood was a plot. MOTB, implantable C-hip, is a plot, is a scheme, because you won't be able to buy or sell without it. It's a trick. All right, to force you. It will be mandated, and they have guillotines that they're going to set up so that for the people who do not take it, thus save the Bible. The Lord said all his plans are going to come to naught, which means nothing if you look it up. So the counsel of the heathen will be nothing. Oh man, they got these GH, they got the WEF, Klaus Schwab, we know about these things. Noah Harari, we know about what they want to integrate people in machines. We know that is the main objective of the New World Order. But the Lord said he's going to make it that to none effect. Right? The counsel of the Lord shall stand forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. But the Lord's counsel will stand forever. So you cannot disannul what the Most High has set up this earth to be. Esau, Edom, you are not bigger than the machine. You're not bigger than the program. The program is the Heavenly Father's program. You are just the axe that boasteth itself against the man that heweth with. Right? You are insignificant to to the counsel of the Lord that stands forever, because yours is come to naught. It says, blessed is the nation who Yahweh is the Lord, whose Yahweh or God is the Lord, and the people whom he hath chosen for his inheritance. You understand? There's a people who the Lord has chosen for his inheritance, and they are blessed, and they will be a refuge, have refuge in times of trouble. Now we can understand the Most High really did put the separation between all mankind. He created all, but he didn't make all the same. He didn't choose all to be his. He just did it. And for the people that want to act as if the Most High, was tripping at that point in time, just understand, right? Just like the newest generation, the generation X or Z or whatever they're called, can say that, we believe that sexuality is fluid, and whatever the doctor prescribes you with, he could have been wrong. It's really dependent upon you. And that's why you have 4th grade transgender teachers teaching to the children that you sent to the school, and your child is coming back saying, well, my teacher said I should hold off before I choose my gender. I want to make a wrong mistake. Once again, man, you have to understand that the enemy runs this system. Job 9:24 simply states, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, so you have to understand throughout periods of time, all the customs of the heathen has continually changed, but the counsel of the Lord stands forever. You see, he's an immutable, right? Unchangeable. You see, the Lord, I am the Lord. What is it? Today, tomorrow, and today, yesterday, and tomorrow. There's a consistency, right, and a truthfulness and exactness that you have with these scriptures that you don't have with Esau, Edom. Case in point, didn't you vote once upon in your life, or your family voted Democrat all your life? What has been promised to your family that they thought was going to come to pass versus the things that actually came to pass based upon what they voted for? It's asinine that our people actually think that you can make change through voting process, right? When the senator is known to be the number one liar of earth. Once again, let's go into it. Psalms 190, 149 and 5. Let the saints be joyful. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand to execute vengeance upon the heathen. So we coming towards a time where the saints of the Lord are going to be rejoicing because of the vengeance that they get to execute upon the heathen. So you can't have heathen friends. You know why? Because of ultimately their heads are going to be severed by the hands of the saints. You can't have heathen friends amongst your own people. What is a heathen of an Israelite? It's an Israelite who is in the mind frame, all right, and the customs of the heathens that he is around about, right? A Jake will grow up in an all-white neighborhood, and then next thing you know, and they call him an Oreo because when he's 25, he thinks, talks, and acts and speaks like an Edomite. Not that he's hardwired to eventually turn back to the Lord, but he fights that with all purpose, and he fights that. He makes it his mission to do whatever the heathen around him love to see him do. He's learned to assimilate. He's learned to be their puppet. He learned to use his given talent of Jake, being funny, being humorous, being cool, being natural, right? But he's learned to supply Esau with all his good feels by turning into something that Esau is pleasurable with. And he won't allow his mind to go on and think about his own people. He won't allow his mind to go on and think about the situation and the dire need. He's going to repeat in the echo chamber of all his Edomite friends or his heathen friends what they think, because that's what they want to hear. That's part of the echo chamber. And it's really is, at the end of the day, you could say it's his fault. You could say it's not his fault. He's a product of his environment, just like you got a Jake that grew up in the hood and then they end up slinging dope and then they get locked up and then they get life. Somebody gets murdered, whatever. He gets life, and he gonna say, well, I was a product of my environment. So guess what? Plot, schemes, and tricks is everywhere. Whether you are part of the delusional who believe that the other nations can be your friends and that the Lord is not going to deal with Esau for his what he did to Native Americans, so-called, and so-called West Indian, Negro people, so-called Latino people on this earth. If you think that Esau is going to get away with that, you are part of the deceived. You are very delusional, and you don't know how the Most High operates. We're reading out of the book of Psalms right now, and the book of Psalms is basically going to cut you. It's going to cut your way of thinking. If you a nigga that grew up in the hood, but you just take it easy on these people because they ain't never did nothing to you, like so-called Lil Wayne, you know, not so-called, but Lil Wayne said comments about that. You know, the white people ain't never did nothing bad to me. It's my own people. Tupac got a phrase like that. It's my own people doing bad, right? Well, that's a part of the scheme, the plot, and the trick that Esau has set up amongst our people, man. Not turning back to the Lord causes our people to be just like them. And how are they? They're murderers, they're villainous, they're reprobate, they're evil at nature, and that's their way of life. That's how they operate. Remember the Greeks, when they came into power, great evils multiplied. But now that our people are starting to turn up and wake up to who they are, through the mercy and the grace of the Lord, we're in a grace period for us to turn back to him. Now that we're getting it, our people would rather be in that stagnated old way of mindset that pleases the heathen, even if it destroys their own kind. Psalms 149:7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon the judgment written. This is the honor, have all his saints. Praise you, the Lord. You cannot circumnavigate your way about it. That scripture is definitely appealing to those who have been destroyed, have been mocked. The Lord's people who turned back to him and became saints. Saints goes back to the word sanctified. It means purified. It means righteous. It means pious. It means holy. That means you put in the effort to being godly, godliness. All right, where contentment is great, is a good thing. You're returning back to the Lord in these end times. These are the saints coming back, man. Don't you see the bigger picture? Remember, the Lord's counsel shall stand forever. To hell with the inconsistent, quick here and there, hatred, evil, plotters, malicious schemes, tricks, and counsel of the so-called white man Esau Edom, who's ruling right now. To hell with them. They are going to get their judgment, thus saith the Lord, and it's going to come by the hands of the very ones they oppressed, the saints of the Lord, the Israelites, who was laughed, mocked, and scorned. So Abu Radazah, this video is edifying. I got plenty more. Abu Radazah, I'll be making some part 2s to this, 3, 4, however many it takes, man. And Abu Radazah, y'all brothers in Akwaf out there, have a good day. You know, constantly meditate upon these scriptures. If you ain't got nothing to meditate on these, you know, continually, and understand that the counsel of the Lord is going to stand forever, but Esau's counsel is going to come to naught. Hey, Shalom, Kohalayim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Wahara Kakwadash. Till next time, Shalom. Time for work.